Hello and welcome back to this edition of News Today, a series where we discuss and analyze today's top stories with precision and clarity. Without delay, let's explore the headlines first. The trade gap between India and China continues to widen. Supreme Court permits abortion beyond 24 weeks of pregnancy. Fourth meeting of Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee held in Ottawa, Canada on UN Plastics Treaty. South Korean scientist has developed sodium-ion battery that can be charged in seconds. International Labour Organization published a report titled Ensuring Safety and Health at Work in a Changing Climate. Indian Space Research Organization tracks notable expansion of glacial lakes in Indian Himalayas. Starting with the first news. The trade gap between India and China continues to widen. India's exports to China witnessed a modest increase from $15.33 billion in the fiscal year 2023 to $16.67 billion in the fiscal year 2024. India's key exports to China include iron ore, cotton yarn, cotton and quartz among others. However, the imports from China soared from $98.51 billion in the fiscal year 2023 to a staggering $101.75 billion in the fiscal year 2024, resulting in a widening trade deficit of $85.08 billion in fiscal year 2024, a 2.3% increase. The nation's imports from its neighbor are dominated by plastics, steel products and fertilizers. One reason behind increasing India's trade deficit can be attributed to export of narrow basket of commodities to China, mainly raw materials and minerals. The surge in imports can also be attributed to several other factors. Firstly, India's focus on renewable energy and carbon neutrality has contributed to the rising imports of materials for solar energy and electric vehicle production. Further, the growth of manufacturing units in India has led to an increased demand for raw material imports from China. Additionally, Indian firms often prefer sourcing supplies from China due to lower costs. To address this imbalance, the Indian government has implemented the Production-Linked Incentive Scheme aimed at making domestic manufacturers globally competitive, attracting investment and promoting exports. Furthermore, India is actively expanding its trade partners by signing and negotiating trade facilitation agreements with the European Union, Canada, and other nations. Looking to the future, India must explore alternative sources of imports from the ASEAN countries to reduce its reliance on China. Additionally, boosting the nation's domestic manufacturing base and increasing exports will be crucial steps in narrowing the trade deficit with China. As the trade gap between India and China widens, it underscores the need for robust economic policies and strategic trade partnerships to ensure a balanced and sustainable trade relationship.
In our next news, Supreme Court permits abortion beyond 24 weeks of pregnancy. In this significant ruling, the Supreme Court has used its special powers under Article 142 of the Constitution to allow medical termination of pregnancy for a 14-year-old rape survivor, despite her being beyond the 24-week limit set by India's abortion laws. Article 142 provides a unique power to the Supreme Court to do complete justice in any case before it, where, at times, the law or statute may not provide a remedy. This judgment comes as a relief, as the Medical Termination of Pregnancy or MTP Act of 1971 caps the upper limit for termination of pregnancy at 24 weeks. To understand better, let's learn few more facts about India's laws on abortion. The Medical Termination of Pregnancy or MTP Act 1971 provides for the termination of certain pregnancies by registered medical practitioners. Further, 2021 amendment of MTP Act raised the upper gestation limit from 20 to 24 weeks. Two important points to be noted here under the provisions of Amendment Act of 2021. Opinion of one doctor is required where gestation period does not exceed 20 weeks, and opinion of two doctors is required where gestation period is between 20 to 24 weeks. However, after 24 weeks of pregnancy, a medical board has to be set up at approved facilities to decide on termination. MTP Amendment Rules 2021 also lists categories of forced pregnancies like rape in case of minors or sexual assault or incest, women with disabilities, and when there is a change in marital status of women during pregnancy, etc. This recent Supreme Court judgment holds significance as it ensures dignity, autonomy, confidentiality, and justice for women who need to terminate pregnancy due to exceptional circumstances beyond the legal limit. In another news, fourth meeting of Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee (INC4) held in Ottawa, Canada on UN Plastics Treaty. United Nations Environment Assembly adopted a resolution in 2022 mandating the creation of an Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee or INC to develop a legally binding instrument to end plastic pollution across its life cycle. Let's take a closer look at the specifics about plastic pollution. Plastic production has doubled from 234 million metric tons in 2000 to 460 million tons in 2019 and is projected to reach a staggering 1261 million metric tons by 2060. China has emerged as a global hub for plastic manufacturing with 32% contribution in global plastic production. India is the third largest contributor of single-use plastic waste globally, contributing 5.5 million tons of single-use plastic waste. While per capita single-use plastic waste generated in India is 4 kg per year. Further, let's also discuss about chemicals used in plastics and its impact on human health. First and foremost, vinyl chloride monomer in liquid and vapor form increases risk of liver and brain cancer. Chemicals like benzene and butadiene can cause leukemia and lymphomas. Lastly, styrene is dangerously neurotoxic and potentially carcinogenic to humans. Now let's also look at the initiatives to combat plastic pollution. On the global front, existing initiatives like the Basel Convention regulate plastic waste movement, while the Global Partnership on Marine Litter aims to share knowledge and coordinate effort to reduce ocean littering. In India, the Plastic Waste Management Rules of 2016 mandated extended producer responsibility or EPR by producers, importers, and brand owners. EPR was introduced as an important feature in E-Waste Management and Handling Rules 2011. Also, a ban on several single-use plastic products has also been implemented, complemented by campaigns like Beat Plastic Pollution and Plastic Free India. As the INC4 meeting progresses, all eyes are on the articulation of an effective and comprehensive global treaty to stem the tide of plastic pollution threatening our planet's ecosystem and human health.
Moving ahead in the news, South Korean scientists have developed sodium-ion battery that can be charged in seconds. Researchers have successfully developed a high-power hybrid sodium-ion battery capable of rapid charging. This technology is being conceived as a cheaper and potentially more feasible source of energy than the widely used lithium-ion batteries. Let us now have a comparative analysis between sodium-ion battery and lithium-ion battery. The sodium-ion battery holds several advantages over its lithium-ion counterpart. Firstly, sodium is 500 to 1000 times more abundant than lithium in nature, making it more accessible and sustainable resource. Additionally, these batteries charge significantly faster than traditional lithium-ion batteries. When it comes to safety, sodium-ion batteries have a clear edge. They are less prone to explosions or catching fire, making them a safer choice for various applications. Furthermore, their higher operating temperature range allows them to be used in more extreme environments, unlike lithium-ion batteries, which can cause fire if operated in high temperature, expanding their potential applications. The versatility of sodium-ion batteries is truly remarkable. They can be employed in small-scale applications such as portable devices as well as large-scale energy storage systems, making them a versatile solution for both consumer and industrial sectors, while lithium-ion batteries are only suitable for portable devices and electric vehicles. While the potential of sodium-ion batteries is undeniable, there are certain limitations that need to be addressed. These batteries currently have a shorter lifespan compared to lithium-ion batteries, and the technology is still in its infancy, lacking a well-established supply chain. Additionally, their flexibility in terms of shape is somewhat limited, and their cycle life of 5000 times is significantly lower than commercial lithium-ion phosphate batteries, which can reach 8000 to 10,000 cycles. Despite the challenges, the development of sodium-ion batteries represents a promising step towards a more sustainable and cost-effective energy future. Moving ahead in the news, International Labour Organization published a report titled Ensuring Safety and Health at Work in a Changing Climate. The report highlights the impacts of climate change on occupational safety and health, or OSH. The report highlights the severe consequences of climate change on the well-being of workers worldwide. Every year, a staggering 2.09 million disability-adjusted life years are attributed to excessive heat alone, underscoring the urgency of addressing this issue. Certain professions and populations are particularly vulnerable to the adverse effects of climate change on OSH. Agricultural workers and other outdoor laborers carrying out physically demanding tasks in hot climates faced heightened risks. Moreover, the report reveals that numerous health conditions such as cancer, cardiovascular disease, kidney dysfunction, and mental health issues have been linked to climate change. Women workers, especially those in subsistence agriculture, may be at an increased risk due to their job roles and responsibilities. Additionally, workers with disabilities are particularly vulnerable due to factors like poverty and lower educational attainment. The report's findings shed light on the grave situation in India, where an estimated 1 lakh farmers committed suicide between 1993 and 2003, largely attributed to water shortages and decreased crop yields, a sobering reminder of the far-reaching consequences of climate change. The ILO report highlights various international labor standards that address climate-related OSH hazards, excessive heat and air pollution. These include the Occupational Safety and Health Convention 198, Promotional Framework for Occupational Safety and Health Convention 2006, Plantations Convention 1958, Working Environment, Air Pollution, Noise and Vibration Convention 1977, among others. To combat the impacts of climate change on OSH, the report calls for a coordinated approach among government departments to ensure policy coherence. It emphasizes the need for targeted policies at the national level, complemented by effective workplace preventive measures. Furthermore, a global multi-sectoral response is recommended, employing mitigation and adaptation strategies to tackle the far-reaching consequences of climate change.
In the last news, Indian Space Research Organization tracks notable expansion of glacial lakes in Indian Himalayas. Long-term satellite imagery spanning the catchments of Indian Himalayan river basins from 1984 to 2023 has revealed a significant expansion of glacial lakes in the region. The Indian Himalayas, often referred to as the third pole due to its extensive glaciers and snow cover, are facing the impacts of climate change. Satellite remote sensing technology plays a crucial role in understanding glacier retreat rates, addressing risks of glacial lake outburst floods or GLOF, and gaining insights into climate change effects. Now, let us try to understand about glacial lake. A glacial lake is a body of water formed by the melting of glaciers. Based on their formation process, these lakes are categorized into 4 broad types: moraine-dammed, water dammed by moraine; ice-dammed, water dammed by ice; erosion, water dammed in depressions formed by erosion, and other glacial lakes. Moraine here refers to the soil and rock material left behind by a moving glacier. Moving further, key observations from ISRO's analysis indicate that out of the 2,431 lakes studied, 676 glacial lakes have expanded since 1984. Of these expanding lakes, 130 are situated within India, in the Indus, Ganga, and Brahmaputra river basins. The majority of the expanding lakes are moraine-dammed, followed by erosion-dammed glacial lakes. Lastly, while glacial lakes act as freshwater sources for rivers in the Himalayan region, they also pose significant risks like glacial lake outburst floods. Furthermore, let's talk more about glacial lake outburst floods. GLOF are a serious climate-related hazard in mountainous regions like the Himalayas. They occur when large volumes of melt water stored in glacial lakes dammed by moraine or ice are suddenly released due to the failure of these natural dams. This dam failure can be triggered by various factors such as avalanches of ice or rock, extreme weather events exacerbated by global warming, or even earthquakes. The resulting flash floods pose a significant threat to communities living downstream. Given their potential for catastrophic impact, GLOF are recognized as a potential climatological disaster in India's National Disaster Management Plan of 2019. With glacial lakes expanding rapidly due to climate change, continuous monitoring and risk assessment of these water bodies is crucial. Early warning systems and disaster preparedness measures need to be strengthened to protect lives and infrastructure in GLOF-prone regions. The personality news for today is Pandita Ramabai Saraswati. She is remembered as her 166th birth anniversary was celebrated recently. Let's learn more about Pandita Ramabai. She was a social reformer, educator, and freedom fighter. She was one of the 10 women representatives at the 1889 Congress. In terms of her key contributions, she established Sharada Sadan in 1889 and testified before the Hunter Commission on Women's Education. She also published Sri Dharmaniti, or Morals for Women. She was awarded the Kesare-Hind Medal in 1919. She displayed values of compassion, patriotism, humanity, and more.
As we conclude today's main news, let's have a look at some quick updates. Trends in World Military Expenditure 2023 report has been released by Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. Established in 1966, it is an independent international institute dedicated to research into conflict, armaments, arms control, and disarmament. As per one of its key findings, India was the fourth largest military spender in the world in 2023, with an expenditure of $83.6 billion after the United States, China, and Russia. Mount Erebus is expelling pockets of gas containing crystallized gold every day, which is worth around $6,000. Other volcanoes are known to emit gold, but Mount Erebus is the only one to emit it in a metallic form. The World Meteorological Organization released the State of Global Climate Report 2023. As per one of its key findings, 2023 was the warmest year on record, with the global average near-surface temperature at 1.45 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial baseline. Central Marine Fisheries Research Institute achieved captive breeding of high-value marine fish golden trevally. It will help to promote sustainable seafood production and boost India's mariculture activities. Golden trevally is a reef-associated fish and lives in the company of larger fishes like skates and groupers. Rare butterfly species Neptis felera was recently discovered for the first time in India. Neptis felera has been discovered in Tail Valley Wildlife Sanctuary in Lower Subhansiri district of Arunachal Pradesh. It is commonly known as long streak sailor. Center for Cellular and Molecular Platform, or CCAMP, has joined the Blockchain for Impact Biome Virtual Network program to accelerate transformative healthcare solutions through biomedical innovation. CCAMP was conceptualized by the Department of Biotechnology in 2009 as an enabler or catalyst of cutting-edge research and innovation in life sciences. ISRO celebrated Satellite Technology Day, commemorating the 50th year of the Aryabhatta launch in 1975. Aryabhatta was India's first satellite, named after the famous Indian astronomer in the 5th century. It was built by the ISRO and launched by Soviet Cosmos 3M rocket from Kapustin Yar, Russia. President conferred Padma Awards at Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi. Padma Awards were instituted in 1954. These are one of the highest civil honors of India, announced annually on Republic Day. These awards are given in three categories: Padma Vibhushan for exceptional and distinguished service, Padma Bhushan for distinguished service of a high order, and Padma Shri for distinguished service. Before we go, it's time to put your knowledge to test in today's segment of Test Your Learning. Thank you for joining us. We hope you found this edition of News Today engaging. For the solutions to today's quiz and to access the PDF version of News Today, remember to visit the provided links in the description.